Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. A lot of times people want to know what are the factors in determining parental rights. It comes up a lot because people, generally the public understands that if two people are married, that there are rights to both parents. Now, the parents may not see it equally. Dad might think that since the child was mostly with him, that most of the rights go to him, only some to mom, sometimes vice versa. That's something that people understand that there are rights there. But what about when people aren't married? Where do parental rights come into play? How do they come into play? And what factors are used to determine that? Well, I will say this. The number one factor used to determine that is paternity. We know who the mother is because we know who the child came out of, right? A lot of times we don't know the paternity though. And without the paternity, the dad can't come in and without the benefit of a marriage and say, hey, that's my kid. An action has to be filed in order to determine paternity. It's what lawyers call a DP petition, a petition to determine paternity. The court will order DNA testing, blah, 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 and all that, and make a determination whether or not this is, in fact, the biological father. So the main factor in determining the father's parental rights is going to be his paternity. But that is not the only factor, because once we determine the paternity, then we start out with the notion that you have parental rights. But make no mistake, they're not inalienable rights. They're not rights that you can't lose. They're not rights that can't be compromised. If you're a father and you've been judged to be with the father because there's an order of paternity, so you're not just the presumptive dad, you're the biological father, okay? And you got those rights. But you decide to go off on a life of crime, and you are involved in drug selling or gun violations or other felony, all, consorting with felonies, all in front of the child, guess what? You may have parental rights. You may lose those parental rights too. They're not something that are going to stick with you the rest of your life. It's going to have to do a lot with how you conduct yourself. Even pulling criminal activity, which may be obvious, pulling that out of the equation. Maybe you're going to say, well, I know I lose my rights if I'm a drug addict, but well, what if I'm just a regular guy? I didn't do any of that. Can I lose my rights anyway? Well, then we look at the course of dealings of the parties. Have you been around? Are you a father that's involved in the life of a child? Or are you living in Vegas? You never call the child, you never see the child. You want to say you have parental rights, but you're totally a Johnny-come-lately. Child's been with mom 8 years, and all of a sudden you show up and want to see your kid. Why? Because you have parental rights. Well, I got to tell you, the court can look at that and say, no, you've kind of abandoned your rights a long time ago. So you don't have those rights. You were gone for 8 years. The court has since then given an order that your parental rights are suspended until further order of the court. So now you've got to do something to get them back. I will share with the audience that sometimes fathers or parents who are away for long periods of time can still file a motion with the court to get parental rights back. They can ask, they can say, yes, I was gone. I was in the military. I was deployed. Or some other good reason why they're gone. Or maybe not such a good reason. I was on drugs, I was in rehab, I didn't want to expose my child to it. But I'm better now. And I want to start being a parent now. And the court will probably say, okay, we'll give you a chance. We're not giving you visitation unsupervised right off the bat. First, we're going to start out with a little introductory, and then maybe some Zooms. And if you do regular electronic communication or other communication, then maybe a short supervised visit. And you see, sort of a graduated kind of thing until you can get to the point where you can actually have parenting time with your child on a non-supervised basis, on a regular basis. The court will be encouraged to do that, and the court will try to get both parents involved. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's going to have to be in a very incremental way so that the court feels that it's in the best interest of the child. It won't be disruptive to the psyche of the child. Now, if you have any questions about your case, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.